First off, how do you feel about the question? You think it's a good question?
Um, I think it's interesting to see how people feel about it. I feel like from my lens, I feel like it's like a automatic like, yo, what do you mean it's time to get over slavery type shit? You know what I'm saying? Because like you factor in like Civil Rights Act was what 1965, so that's literally only what 80 years ago. That's my grandmother like era, my great grandmother era. So that's just two generations from me. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like people try to say it's time to get over it, like it happened like millions of years ago. Like I can directly pinpoint situations or systems that are in place as a result of slavery that hasn't been
Or that
changed.
evolved from slavery
Hmm.
and on all this other shit. On the other hand,
Hmm.
while it's important to acknowledge the past, only acknowledging that shit and being stuck in a shit where you can dig yourself out of a hole if you really apply yourself, you got to have somewhat of that, you know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody gonna save you,
Yeah, facts.
you know what I'm saying? And it's enough, especially in our time, it's enough shit in place where a motherfucker can't stop you if you really want something.
Uh, I mean, not as much. They can't stop you as much.
I
There's still
mean,
like barriers. You get what I'm saying? There's still specific racial
no,
barriers.
and that's right. You know what I'm saying? We can acknowledge that. Um, but at the same time, it's gonna always be a counter to that. It's gonna always be somebody who beat that. It's gonna always be somebody who been through worse. It's gonna always be somebody who made a way,
Hmm.
regardless, regardless of whatever the fuck. Because I mean, the limit is only there if you see the limit. Everybody don't see that limit
The limit is only there if you see the
because
limit.
the limit, like the limit is imaginary. If you be like, whether you in the gym, whether you talking about financials, whether you talking like I don't, you can just put a limit on yourself, bro. But you could also be like, I can do that. I can get past that. I can I can find another way. I can, you know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why like white people they can't even understand that because they don't see certain stuff as, and I ain't gonna say all white people, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? They can't see the same disadvantages from our perspective. It's impossible for them to see it because the world is whitewashed. So they
I
gonna
agree
be
with
like, oh
that.
no, it's nothing wrong with that. Like we living in the same world, but they just seeing it, they just literally perceiving it in a different way. But it's more physical stuff in place where they can confirm that. So if you like, all right, I need to get a better circle. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do like you can make a plan to get out of whatever hole you in, or you can at least attempt. Like it's somebody that did it. It's somebody that failed, and there's always somebody that did it. You got to pick what side you gonna be on.
Okay, I can see what you're saying.
Like, and it's hard to really say that because it's so, you know what I'm saying? You can make an excuse or you can make a plan. I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck are you going to do about whatever your situation is?
So the mentality, I agree with. I agree with. You can either make an excuse and make a plan, right? But then when it comes to a point where like you're making all of these plans and you're constantly hitting these barriers, you get what I'm saying? Constantly like one step forward, two step backwards, right?
That's,
So my question is like I'm obviously not advocating for all right, one step forward, two step backwards, and just quit. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying like not to stop trying. I'm saying is at what point are we gonna tackle let's get
that's
rid
it.
of these barriers or how are we gonna remove these barriers? You get what I'm saying? Because you're asking me to do double the work, right? Which I if I'm making a plan, it's saying like, yo, I'm gonna accept me having to do this work, right? So me accepting having to do this work, there still has to be a conversation about these barriers. I'm choosing to take on the extra load and deal with these barriers, but at some point there isn't everyone can't deal with the same pressure, the double, the exponential amount of pressures that I may have to deal with. Just as an example, you know what I'm saying? Like,
My my thing with that is, bro, it's the group because we usually run it as individuals because we don't have our own shit. We don't have our own system in place, so we run as individuals. We need to figure out a way to make our own system. Or you need to get in a group of people that got something going. You can't like at one point you go, if I keep trying to become a doctor but the hospitals ain't fucking with me, eventually what am I gonna do? I'm gonna have to go like the Sebi route. He's a doctor in his own right, but he didn't go the conventional way.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting that you said that. I forgot what I was looking at, but they were talking about, damn, I wish I could remember who said it, but they were saying like, yeah, if you ask, like, what, as far as like black people, what do we want, right? What are we looking for? You ask like, as far as like politically, and if we're trying to make change, right? What are like if you for example, if you look at Hispanics or whatever, their main topic of as far as when it comes to political views, their main issue is immigration, right? So as far as like black people, what are the top 3 things that we are pushing for to, you know, get legislation or to tackle the issues we're trying to tackle as far as politics or as far as like change? If you ask different black people, you're gonna get 3 different answers. We aren't like on a united front.
We don't have the same other culture, and that's where culture come into play. That's when, yeah, bro, we've been divided. Mm-hmm. We've been divided in the family. We've been divided in the neighborhood. Like, what if, like, you, all right, so I was talking to this one girl, right? She stay in Miami. She go back from, like, somewhere in Florida and New York. And I told her from Chicago, I told her I was from Chicago, whatever. And she like, New York niggas said Chicago's niggas soft and really don't be shooting shit up.
What kind of conversation is that?
You see that's a culture problem?
That's wild, son.
That's a culture problem, bro. That's
all right. So now, well, I mean, this is like kind of a side note, but so to bring awareness to things like that or whatever, like, because we were talking about, like, if I watched it, because you were telling about The Chi and I started watching it, right? And we're talking about how, like, as far as how it's displayed in the show itself, like, that's not Chicago culture, right? It could have just been anywhere. They just called it The Chi, right?
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird to me.
How do you feel about that? So you're looking at Shorty as far as like her representation of like basically what she asks you is basically like how she is really just her mentality of how she views her neighborhood and her position in the neighborhood, right? She's saying like, yo, I'm from this spot, you know what I'm saying? I heard this and niggas ain't really like that and this and that, you get what I'm saying? So that's like that's her internalization of her neighborhood and how she, I guess, establishes a place in society or sees a place in society, right? She's looking at it as just basically like, ops here, ops there, you're not as good as me, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
or in simple terms, like, who's the hardest? Like, that's our culture. You got to be harder than the next. When it could be, you need to be smarter, or who's the most educated, or who doing the most for their family, or who doing the most for their community, type shit.
Okay, so to bring my question full circle, so we have these 2 contrasts, right? You have Shorty polarized to one side, and you have the Chi polarized to the other side. Super Hollywood, right? So if you were to make those adjustments, what would bring it in the middle as far as Shorty's visualization and I guess it's Spike Lee it's Spike Lee show The Chi, right? And Spike Lee's visualization of The Chi. How would you make it more authentic?
Ooh, that's tough. So,
because it's for, and all right, go ahead.
What was the next part you was gonna say?
I was gonna say because there is, imagine when you were growing up, there's an authenticity to saying, yo, niggas ain't like us, You get what I'm saying? Like, imagine how you was moving when you was younger. You get what I'm saying? Like, even, and that's on a larger scale. Just imagine block to block in your hood. Like, your block is harder than the next block. You get what I'm saying? Niggas ain't really like it like us. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
so
well, that's on a small scale, but I mean, you see, we all the same, and we got that same mentality, and that's a problem. That's not a good mentality.
right. So to go back to the question, how would you? What mind? Just a couple, one or two adjustments would you make to the show itself, to
the show or to reality?
to the show. We're talking about the show, like, because you can't really you can't really like go around telling everybody about Chicago, right? This is
Okay. What you just asked me on like on a personal level, like
yeah, just on a
just okay. Okay, that's an interesting question. All right, so I'm gonna take the color thing out. Nobody color bangs in Chicago. That's not a thing.
Okay.
Wait,
were they color banging? Wasn't it like 54th Street?
The part. Okay, so and maybe I'm confusing this with a different show. I believe this was Tiger in the shop.
I only saw the first season.
So
that's when the dude he had the. So I could run it back real quick. Dude had the food truck. I think that's how it ended. They shot the.
So I might have confused something because they got shot the show, and I think Spike Lee also made a movie. It was like the shot the movie, and it was like shot the show or some shit like that. It was some weird shit.
Okay.
And one of them, it was people specifically red and blue banging, Crip and blood banging in Chicago.
Okay.
You're not going to see that. That's just not.
But there are rival gangs, right?
Yes.
So theoretically, it may not be colors, but they are banging over ideologies, right?
Bro.
That's another story for another day. I get what you're saying. Okay, so we'll take out the color banging. What else you got?
Yeah, it's because it's normally and shit had changed, especially with the music. All right, before I answer that question, let me kind of give you some context because I be watching a lot of different stuff on YouTube. I watched this one dude. Shout out to like Jay Let's Live Life. He said he been in jail longer than he's been a free man. That's how much time he spent in and out of the prison. So it's fucked up. But he doing big things now, and he was just saying he was in jail before rap music, and he saw what happened to rap music and how people wanted to become more gangsters and how that changed the prison system.
Okay.
Because more people wanted to be gangsters, more gangs became prevalent. You see what I'm saying? So like the recruitment and stuff like that just through the music. Even if they ain't got nothing to do with it, they wanted to be there because that's what they saw on TV.
Okay.
That's what they heard in the music. So it just blended into the culture. So, I mean, growing up...
Hold on. Before you continue, I'm going to play a quick video for you. It's a separate video. Hold on.
But Vindy owns the fucking music industry. Some French motherfuckers putting budgets for people that's talking about gangbanging, killing, and violence. You can't name one Jewish rapper that's a blood. Name him, I'll wait. You can't name one Jewish rapper that's a Crip. Name him, I'll wait. It's a reason for that shit, B.
Yeah.
You can't name one fucking Yemen rapper that's a blood or a Crip that's talking about, yo, get the op, spin a fly, kill him, shoot him, kill his mother. Why? They use crack to break down black communities in the 80s. They're using music to break down black communities now, bro. And it ain't come from us. That's why them kids on that bus with their pants sagging. That's why them kids is like, yo, fuck that, I don't care about life. That's why that girl 6 years old talking about twerk, twerk, twerk. It's in the music. You see?
Music is powerful, bro.
Yeah, I started interesting you said that, and then I was watching this shit earlier today.
Music is powerful, bro. You remember when I was talking about that, talking about just how it influenced minds, bro? Like, bro, music is... That's why Satan was the fucking prince of music, whatever the fuck he was. He was... That nigga was powerful, bro. Satan powerful.
Said Loki, the god of mischief.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, bro. So I mean, that's the only thing that I would initially do is first take out the color bank, and nobody does that. I've never seen that in my life, for real.
No, bro.
Until I went to St. Louis. When I went to St. Louis, bro.
Yeah, this blood, this have, yeah.
That's the first time I seen color banging. I was like, damn, these niggas was like that shit for real. And Cali is known for that. I don't know if New York really color bang or anything like that.
Yeah.
It is.
Color bang heavy in New York.
See, like that's not.
It was literally like you'll have a block, 2 blocks is blood, and the next 2 blocks is crib. Next block is like shit was crazy, son. High schools was either blooded out or loked out, or you had Latin Kings as well. You had folks. Yeah, shit was crazy.
That is well, and so we just need to realize that now we can say like who's defending their block the best. Like if we was really sticking to the purpose, which was really defending your home, that's one thing. But it ain't really even about that no more. And it's just messy. What we really need is economic freedom, bro. Like if everybody had bread and understood and education, because you understand how the system, like you motherfuckers only doing wild shit because they don't understand how shit work, bro. Like if you knew better, you would literally do better.
I partially agree with that. Most
people, right? Like
if you knew better and had the resources to do better, I think most people would do better.
You know what I'm saying? Like like and have the support, like, and that's where communities come into play.
Yeah,
communities.
But then you also have like, to go back to slavery again, like we don't have like a common culture for all of us to.
We're not united.
Yeah, and then it's crazy because. Damn, who said? I forgot who said this. He was saying like, "Yo, to be honest, like it's an inaccurate statement to tell Black people go back to Africa because technically, like our culture, our trends, all this, like we established a lot of this here because we don't have much to look back to as far as like, yo, this came from this, or to identify one to one. You get what I'm saying? So as far as like American culture, you get what I'm saying? So like if you look at anybody else that come over here, they're like, oh yeah, my European ancestors used to do this. That's why we do this here. Or
a lot of people can't understand that because they got that.
Yeah. So yeah, they'll be like, "Yo, all right. So this comes from this. This comes." A lot of times, like, and
so why the fuck are y'all so fucked up? They can't literally understand it. Like, yeah, that's why you niggas like y'all fucked up. Like y'all ain't got no culture.
Yeah.
And we can't even see it because we lived it. Mm-hmm. You can't even see it, bro. Yeah. Until you either start socializing with other people, until you start moving around a little bit, until you start seeing the world. And then you'd be like, damn, we petty as hell.
Mm-hmm. That is a fact. That is very true. All right, so I do want to get into this video, but before we get into the video, I want to ask you real quick. You consider yourself a conservative or a liberal?
Can you explain the difference?
Shit, I don't know, man. I think maybe. All right, matter of fact, we'll look at the definition. Let me see the definition.
Let's come up with a clear definition of it first. But as I got older, I understand Republicans more. I do understand it. Of course, like I've benefited from more democratic policies growing up. You know what I'm saying? Because those usually provide more opportunity, like more funding for social stuff. But I understand the motherfucker get up and get it on your own shit. I understand that shit a little bit better now. It's gonna be some type of blend of it, and I think that's where the fucking socialism come into play. I don't know. Definition. But a motherfucker who ain't got shit need help. That's the thing. If you ain't got shit, you gonna need if you ain't got shit, you need help to start. But it's a proper way to do the shit. It's real hard, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so what do liberals stand for? I'm trying to find like conservatism. Political, advocating the preservation of the best established order of society, and conservatism, a political philosophy advocating the preservation of the best of the established order in society and opposing radical change.
I don't like that definition.
Yeah.
Because that ain't say shit, did it?
So I can give you an example, and then maybe it's like I don't know, we'll kind of figure it out. But when I think of conservative, I think of like real like religious, like go like by the book as far as like the Bible and
So I'm not that.
Like old school, like how you was brought up. We got to go back to the old ways and you know what I'm saying? Like this was the right. You guys are getting too crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as far as like liberal is more like open to change, more like accepting of
new
different
age
beliefs and new age ideas and things of that nature.
Well, I'm definitely more liberal just because I know I'm not conservative. I'm not. I don't think conventionally. Even if I don't agree with something, I'm able to at least, or I usually try to put myself in the opposing shoes, which is not always a good thing, because that leave you open for a lot of bullshit that's not necessary. But I like, you know what I'm saying? I am able to do that. To just like, I think they just come with understanding. Like, people just need to be more understanding.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that'll fix a lot of our problems anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers just took the time to try to be a little bit more understanding and shit.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. All right, so now that we got a very loose definition,
very, very loose
of both sides,
terrible pussy.
We're gonna check out this video right here.
Obama was a representation of something important.
Obama didn't do anything but an abomination to us, to this whole nation.
Yo,
Black conservatives versus black liberals.
What's the biggest misconception black liberals have about you?
That we are self-hating, we hate our mom, we hate our dad, we don't know history.
We're out of touch, is that we don't have any real-world experiences.
We don't really know what we're doing.
She looked crazy already with that outfit, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you, son.
Yeah, that's
What is a misconception black conservative people have about you?
Probably that I have no moral character.
I believe in chaos and anarchy.
And you don't?
No, I believe in the rule of law.
She's sitting or standing?
Notion of anyone being American and black and having conservative views.
When you're online behind the screen.
Boy, that nigga look like the fucking, you ever see Men in Black? When he's like, hey, Jay. All right. Let me chill.
Behind the black mirror, you can say pretty much whatever you want, do whatever you want, but when you're right here, you gotta be a little bit more human.
I'm sitting on 10%, bro.
My name is Kevin Martin. I'm a business consultant. I was born and raised in Pennsylvania, born into and raised in a conservative household, and I'm still a conservative.
My name is Xavier. I'm born and raised Los Angeles. I'm liberal.
Hi, I'm Elisa. I'm definitely as far left as one can walk.
I'm Anthony Logan. I'm from Virginia originally. Grew up in a socially conservative household, but very politically liberal. I'm conservative now, and I'm looking forward to hearing all you guys' point of view.
My name is Lady Kate Sparelle. I am a conservative Republican.
All right. Can I get my black liberals on the left and my black conservatives on the right?
Say that again.
Liberals on the left, conservatives to the right.
She can't even pay attention, man. What's going on
You
with her?
agree with the prompt, you'll walk forward. If not, you'll stay back. People need to get over slavery.
You want to answer these before they answer, bro?
Huh?
You want to answer these before they answer?
But we'll talk about what they say.
All right, so I guess I started off. I mean, we all know that slavery was a terrible thing.
Yes.
It was an atrocity.
Right.
It was a human tragedy. But
Yes.
we can't just be talking about slavery every day. It ended in 1865. This is 2020.
That's 100.
We got to press forward. Our ancestors, they went through a lot. They died for us to be able to be here right now.
Yes.
And the best country on planet Earth.
Yes.
take advantage of what we have right now,
Right.
rather than looking in the past and saying, oh, well, woe was me because of slavery.
Right.
You know, there have been other groups of people in slavery all throughout the world. They can't just stay in that state. So people, a lot of times, they stay right in their place, and others are being able to pass them because mentally they've moved on while others have not.
They constantly use slavery to put them in a victim mentality. We can't accomplish this because you enslaved my ancestors. Slaves were taught English. Slaves were taught how to become managers and secretaries and cooks and chauffeurs and how to build water tanks and all sorts of things. We're here now.
All right, so I think dude isn't answering the question. They're saying, do we need to get over slavery? Nobody says we need to forget about it. You get what I'm saying? Like, or do we need to forget about slavery? Because he's saying, like, yo, people that's constantly think about it. When you have a situation, slavery, right? This country was built on slavery. All of the systems, everything has inherent traces of racism inside of them. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So to say we need to get over it doesn't make any sense because we're trying to navigate in a system that has these things in there. You get what I'm saying? So
That's the root of it.
It's the root of it. So if we don't understand our oppressor or know like the oppressor's tactics, then we're just being ignorant and we're falling a victim to what's going on. You get what I'm saying? Like you said earlier, we shouldn't live every day like, yo, damn, this happened. I'm not getting up and I ain't doing shit. Or like, this is unfair. I shouldn't have to do this, so I'm not doing it. No, you still got to work hard. This is the cards you've been dealt, right? You still have to push forward and go through. But no, you don't need to get over it. You get what I'm saying? This country was built on this. You get what I'm
It's
saying?
our history. This is what happened.
So
and we still dealing with. I mean, cause shit get passed on. Trauma gets passed on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I look at my kids, right? Like just a small example. Like, yo, I'm light skinned, right? So I know what I had to deal with growing up. You get what I'm saying? So I
think you got teased for being light skinned.
So I had to
be harder.
Yeah, I had to be harder than everybody else. You get what I'm saying?
So play for being bright.
Yeah, so niggas knew off rip, I'm not the one to play with. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, part of that trauma, and this is just a very small example. Part of that trauma goes to my kid. Like, I look at him. I look at my kid. I'm like, yo, listen, he's gonna need to know how to use his hands. He's gonna need to know how to, you know what I'm saying, defend himself because he may have to deal with.
That's also.
Okay.
That's also just basis of being a man.
Right, but look at where it's coming from. It's not coming from like.
Not really.
You know what I'm saying? It's coming from like directly related to
more so that specifically.
Yeah, to effects of light skin versus dark skin in the hood. You get what I'm saying? This is where it's coming from. You get what I'm saying?
Your trauma, and that's technically your personal trauma.
Right, that I'm passing on.
Now the thing is, if you're aware of that, you can pass it on in a better way than somebody. Imagine the people who are unaware of whatever their traumas are.
Yo, I don't know if I agree with that statement because you're saying pass it on in a better way, but you're still passing it on.
Well, the fact that you're able to acknowledge exactly what the root of that problem is, you're not going to be, and you might say that, right? But I feel like, did anybody say to you, yo, because you like, and plus, so first off, your son is not growing up in the same environment that you grew up in.
Correct.
Right? So, based off that, automatically, not going to say automatically better because he may deal with it. He may actually deal with the exact opposite of what you deal with. He may be, you know what I'm saying? It may be because he's darker than everybody that he got to deal with. You know, he may get the exact opposite of what you got. So, you know what I'm saying? My thing is the awareness. If you're able to at least explain, like, yo, you may have to deal with this because of this. Or it could be this too. It may not just be one way for you. That may do a lot for him. If somebody broke down multiple different ways to think about stuff instead of just the way I saw it, for me, it would have helped me with a lot of things.
I agree. Yeah, even like as an adult, like when I'm dealing with situations like as far as like marriage or my kids, like I have no like blueprint to base it off of. So sometimes I'm kind of like stuck with like, yo, what am I supposed to do in this situation? And I have nobody to talk to about it. So it's kind of like, yo, how am I supposed to like navigate through this? So what is the right decision here?
And the thing is, that's an important part of life, is to find people, whether it's, I mean, ideally it's your family, ideally it's your father, ideally, you know what I'm saying? Where you get the bulk of your information from, where you be able to bounce ideas off, because you're probably gonna be the most like him, and he's gonna be able to give you his perspective, which would probably be close to yours. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you don't got that, then you gotta expand it. You gotta find other people that's just either relatable or that just make the right sense type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm only saying that to say because I dealt with stuff that I didn't understand, and I didn't have the right people around me to bounce it off of. If anything, the people around me just going about their life like everything is all good, or going about their life like, I feel like I was the only one going through certain shit. A lot growing up, bro. You feel me? So it was just crazy as I became older. I'm like, what the fuck? This shit normal.
Yeah.
But without the right people to bounce that shit off of, you would never know that, because you a kid. How the fuck would you know?
Yeah, facts.
And I feel like we kind of got away from whatever the fuck we was talking about. But yeah, it's a mix. Like, acknowledge the past, but move forward. You can't eat. It's just a balance between it. You got to acknowledge the past that happened, but you got to move forward, bro.
All right. Let's see what they got to say.
Yo, okay. All right. I really think, honestly, colonialism didn't teach us anything, because we came from a society that was living and running. So I don't think we need to get over slavery.
I like that.
We need to talk about the repercussions of it, like generational trauma, like the system that exists because of it. I don't think we should use it as a crutch to, as for ambivalence, or to hold yourself back. You know what I mean? I think it is a mindset as well.
I think one of the most dangerous aspects
that was a very balanced
advancement is misinformation. I think a lot of young people, especially young men, especially young African American men and women, often have questions about why things are the way they are. Why do I get treated this way? Why has my mother gone through this? Or why has my grandmother gone through this? Well, it all comes down to the repercussions of slavery. And so I think that just getting over something, I think, is just absolutely ridiculous.
You can't minimize slavery.
Who says that, though?
But I listened to both of you, and I even thought maybe I'll stay out of this one. No. But the notion of ending the discussions on slavery, they haven't begun. We just got the lynching memorial in Alabama. We just got the African American Smithsonian in D.C. You cannot go to Germany and walk more than a mile without seeing some sort of tribute to the Holocaust, some sort of apology, some sort of marker. The United States does not acknowledge.
That takes traveling. That takes seeing other cultures, bro.
To discuss, but we can't get over it until white folks acknowledge it.
Being black should not influence a political view.
That's a general question. Are you talking about Republican, Democrat?
So,
of course not.
Yeah, being black should not really influence how you think politically, because what's good for us as black folks should be the same as everybody else. It should be from the point of view of me being an American and wanting the best for me in America.
I will vote for the best person that is running. And so far it's been, in my situation, it's been Republicans, conservative Republicans.
I vote based on
Trump on that?
I care about, and the issues that I care about stem from my personal experiences. As someone that was raised in a conservative household, I have different views on certain things. I have different views on pro-life and pro-choice issues. I have different views on economic issues. I have different views on trade and foreign policy. I don't think that skin color should have anything to do with a political view.
So, as a general note, yes, I don't think your skin color should influence your political view. I'm not really like that heavy into politics to be able to like spit off specifically like, yo, this side said this, that side said this. But yeah, it should be like dude with the beige hoodie or white hoodie said, like it should just basically be the political party that's in line with your views.
You can't argue that.
Yeah.
How can you say otherwise?
Yeah. All right.
I would say I definitely don't vote for candidates just because they're black. Ben Carson could never get my vote. However, I do feel very much a part of a group. I feel like I have a shared history with black people and descendants of slaves in this country, and so I do not vote just based on what's okay for me.
I think people should vote for what's in the best interest of them, and I don't think that skin color should dictate on what your interest should be based on skin color.
Did you ever vote your religion?
So I partially disagree with that because there are issues that we deal with that are based
you gotta
on our
acknowledge
skin
it.
color.
We have to acknowledge it because shit happened because of our skin color.
Yeah.
For sure.
Religious belief?
Yes.
On abortion?
Have I ever voted my religious beliefs on abortion?
Yes.
Yeah, I have.
And what's your religious belief on abortion?
We're not even talking about abortion. It has nothing to do with this conversation.
It's black.
We have nothing to do with this conversation.
The majority of abortions are done to the black race.
Well, I
so
want to ask you.
You should be interested in answering that question.
Really quick, I want to ask you because you said you wanted to leave slavery behind. You wanted to get over it. But
I didn't say forget it. Yeah.
You said to get over it. I'm saying
get over it. Let's not forget it.
You're a Christian?
And I still say teach it.
You're a Christian?
Yes, I am.
And where do you think we got that?
Got what?
Christianity.
Christianity goes all the way back to the beginning of time.
So where did we learn it, though?
Where did we learn it? Well, the Egyptians had religions. The Jewish taught religion.
Where did
you mean
the
in
African
America?
Diaspora?
In America.
Your lineage, yeah. Slavery, right?
They learned it from slavery.
Right.
Slaves also brought religion with them when they came, so it was a mixture of everybody's religion.
So she's trying to convolute the answer because he's like, it's a gotcha moment. You get what I'm saying? Because that's a specific example of trauma. You get what I'm saying? You've been given this information. Just the idea of
out of force. It's a lot of murders behind religion, bro.
A lot of murders behind religion, but as far as just looking at a white man as the father of all, or the man that's gonna save the world or whatever, you're constantly going into a church with an image or statue of a white man on the cross that sacrificed himself for us. You get what I'm saying? Psychologically, that does something to you to see a white man.
Your God should look like you. For sure.
And then obviously we got it from and I mean that's a whole other story, but it was used to control slaves as well too. You know what I'm saying? To keep them docile.
But they learned how to read. So what they learned how to read was the Holy Bible. And either you're going to believe the Holy Bible or you're not.
We knew how to read.
I believe you know how to read Arabic, what? Because it wasn't English. That's my saying. I'm in America now. Everybody.
So that's a wild, ignorant statement.
She's whack. She's not making any point. She sounds real emotional, defensive.
It sounds like she's saying that you're inadequate, uneducated, and incapable of doing anything if you are not an English-speaking American.
Retarded.
That's wild.
Everybody should speak English.
Is that a hot take? Damn, we gotta speak English in America.
I support the Black Lives Matter movement.
Are you indifferent about this one or not?
I kind of just.
Well, I am a public defender for 17 years. I work in the criminal justice system. I see a lot of the behind the scenes when it comes to police brutality. So I'm a strong Black Lives Matter supporter.
I grew up in Compton. My parents were born and raised there. Even as a child, when they had the riots for Rodney King, we had to move to Hampton. Yeah, it was something it was the first time I knew that it was wrong, the way the police, how they police the towns. It was the first time I got a sense of injustice.
I'm just interested, since you identify as conservative, I was surprised to see you come over and how that lines up with your political views, or maybe just what your definition of conservative is.
Since the movement started, I've been torn for far too long. We've had the police on the right, and we've had Black Lives, the African American community and the Black community on the left, and it's just constant fighting. And so I support the movement. I support the agenda. I support the mission. I just have not always supported the way that mission agenda was being carried out.
So I think dude explained my position pretty well. I feel like there has to be some type of movement or force or some type of voice saying, yo, you got to stop this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to do things differently. Now, I think in certain situations, as far as, I feel like it's been hijacked by people, you get what I'm saying? As far as, like, during protests, like, inciting violence and doing all of this stuff, which I have a whole other view on that as well. But as on a general note, I agree with it. What you think?
What was the question? What do you mean you agree with it?
It said, do you support the Black Lives Matter movement? So I'm saying I support it. What it's trying to do.
Some portion of it is necessary. Some portion of it.
What portion is not necessary?
I'm not. It's not like something that you can straight up identify. Because it's been good that came out of it. I guess the question is, because fuck the police, so it don't matter if Black Lives Matter to them. Because we really can't. I've never been into changing people's mind, right? If you believe something, I'm not gonna try to change your mind because I don't like. That's one of the hardest things to do is just change somebody's mind, especially if it's not affecting me.
Right, but how I view it is that.
Let me finish though.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to say, internally, which is like to Black people, do Black Lives Matter to Black people is more important than do Black Lives Matter to me.
Okay.
Because once we answer that question fully, do it matter to ourselves, then we can start looking outward and be like, it don't fucking matter if it matter to you because you're going to respect this shit. But if we don't give no fuck about each other, we can't even start to worry about what the fuck other people care. Because they not going to get no fuck. It don't matter. Like, even if we did give a fuck about each other, it still don't matter if they give a fuck about each other. Because we not them. We got to matter to each other first.
Yeah.
Because you see what I'm saying? Like, how you want respect from somebody else and you don't respect yourself?
All right, so I disagree with that. I think that those are two different issues. I think that the goal, if the byproduct is we change minds, cool. But the system is set up that disenfranchises us. You get what I'm saying? You have cops that are beating us, and they're getting away with it, are killing us and getting away with it. So we are trying to say, yo, our lives matter. Like, you can't just be doing this. You can't just, like, the police are supposed to, police brutality in particular, we're using police brutality, right? We're saying, like, yo, you're here to protect us. You're here to enforce the law. But, look, you're taking advantage of this. You get what I'm saying? We're dying at a huge, we're getting killed by police at a huge disproportional rate than our white counterparts, right? And, hold on, let me finish real quick. At a disproportional rate, and we're saying, like, yo, this is not okay, and if we don't say something, it's going to continue to happen. So we're bringing the light to how many times it's been like, yo, a lot, especially for me, like, personally, like, you hear about all these things. When I was younger, I thought all of this was normal. You get beat up by cops, it happens. You get what I'm saying? And then now it's like, people's like, yo, this is heinous, everything that's going on, but this is what has been happening in our community. You get what I'm saying? So you have to bring that to a forefront. Now, the violence within our community, which a lot of it is a direct reflection of poverty. You get what I'm saying? But
trauma and poverty.
Trauma and poverty, that's a whole other story. I think those are two different issues. You get what I'm saying? So to blend them together gives like, makes, it's like saying it's okay for them to do that.
All right. So look, so first, I agree with you. There are two separate issues. But the issue internally is not, that still needs to be brought up. Like we can't. They are two different issues, but I've seen more black hate than, and this is my reality, right? I've seen us chase each other down more than the police chase us down. And that makes sense to me on a numbers level because you know what I'm saying, whatever the case is. But you know what I'm saying, and whatever the reasons are, and believe me, in some ways the shit makes sense. Like I get it.
All right, so let's say I got a question for you. So we're not saying this is the complete answer for it, but we're just kind of just speculating right now. So can you identify any type of trauma, right, that would cause black on black violence, like within an impoverished neighborhood? Just something, anything.
Automatically being in poverty makes the crime rate go up just because of the shit that's automatic.
Okay, now in relation to police brutality and people of color, African Americans in particular, what kind of trauma do we associate the police having to deal with to act like this?
None. It's purely based on color, racism, and because they able to do it and pretty much get away with it. I mean that's like, I feel like that explains like why you have to have things like the problem, the source, because of the source of the problem.
Right.
And
so
like I said,
hold on real quick. The Black Lives Matter movement as would be one thing that would help bring awareness and hopefully make some type of change. And then on the flip side, for issues within the community, that's a whole other story. We need to have better funding for schools, for access to quality education. We need to have like after school programs, child daycare, access to opportunities for single moms, or you get what I'm saying? Like just
I mean, bro, you're completely right. And I'm not. So look, if you work on yourself, the outside is easier to work on. That's all I'm saying.
No, I think if you work on yourself, yeah. I agree with you. Yes. It's easier to work on the outside if you're secure with yourself, right? But it doesn't. It just.
When you're already down and you constantly getting kicked, I mean, you got to be able to stand up before you can do anything. So it's just like, I mean, it's coming from internal, it's coming from external. It's like, damn, give me a fucking break. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we got to.
Okay, so yeah, I remember my point now. So I don't think you have to stand up before, to use your example, right? You gotta be able to, if you're getting kicked, you gotta stand up before you can change the outside, right? I don't think that you have to stand up before you can try to make changes on the outside, because there are two different issues. So you can work on both of them at the same time. You get what I'm saying? I don't think one is dependent of the. So I don't think the inside is dependent of the outside, but I think the outside is dependent of the inside. Well, no, I don't think the outside is dependent of the inside. I don't think that.
So let me use this example, that same example, right? If somebody is kicking you while you're down,
okay,
you only get really two choices, maybe three. You can ball up and protect yourself. And along the same line, it's kind of just waiting and hope that they stop before you're finished. Or you can figure out a way to defend yourself, which is you're at a disadvantage. That's the disadvantage, is you're already on the ground. So once you're on the ground, you're already at a disadvantage of getting up to defend yourself because you're not standing up.
Okay. Now, well, to use your example, right? So you're saying that, you have a couple options if you're on the floor getting kicked, right? But we're saying that yes, we do need to learn how to defend ourselves. That is a fact. But in this scenario, right, we should know how to defend ourselves, right? But
that's a disadvantage being on the ground.
But we're saying we're already on the ground and they're kicking us, right? So we should have the tools to be able to defend ourselves as like our own like people, right? We should have these tools, right? Or we should be teaching these tools to the kids. What I'm saying is that, what I think the Black Lives Matter movement is saying is that, we need to stop allowing these parents to teach these kids that it's okay to kick black people when they're down. So yes, one issue is we need to learn how to defend ourselves, but another issue is to stop it before it occurs. Like to stop this issue where it's like a culture of you have parents and their friends saying like, they're talking like, yeah, fuck these dudes and this and that. Their kids are hearing it, making it seem like it's okay to pick on these people. Then they grow up with that mentality and now they think that it's okay, and then now it's like perpetuating.
And that was the original reason before drugs became a part of it, and that was the reason gangs were created. That was the Black Panthers. They was defending the community.
Yeah, I would like us to do an episode one of these days on Tulsa and one of these like black communities. Like we need to do our research and like put some of that information out there as far as stuff like that. But all right, let's continue with this.
I agree with the fact that black lives do matter. I think we all agree on that. That's something that nobody's
say some bullshit.
But it's the tactics. I don't like the tactics. I mean, I saw it in 2015, the Freddie Gray situation, also with Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. Mm-hmm. You burning neighborhoods down. You're tearing things apart.
I have people who will say, well, the percentage of blacks that are being killed is high. And I said, where'd you get that from? Well, we see it on TV all the time. But the ones who are not shown on television is in a much higher bracket of being shot quicker than a black man would. And that's shown with the FBI statistics.
Black Lives Matter as an organization is about peaceful protest.
Pause it. What the fuck was her point?
Yo, we just gonna go over that shit, because Shorty ain't say nothing, son. Nothing at all.
I thought it was something coming after that.
I thought so too, but she basically said, yo, listen, don't look over here, look at this hand, look at this hand. No,
awareness. There's no Black Lives Matter organizer who's ever looted a CVS. There's no Black Lives Matter organizer who has ever advocated for violence. So in terms of saying, look, I see somebody black on the TV who is upset about the murder of a young black male, that's not the same as saying Black Lives Matter is therefore responsible. Likewise, I'm not sure which FBI statistics, but African American men are definitely the most killed by police. It's a very specific statistic. Police aren't killing white folks like that.
We can't just leave it there and say, well, we're being killed more, therefore it's a problem with race. Why are we being killed more by the police? Is there a
Because we're over-policed. There's more police in our communities.
What does that mean?
It means that the ratio, the number of police, at any given time where I live, I am going to see police officers every hour. I'm going to see patrol vehicles in a way that I don't see when I'm in predominantly white neighborhoods. Statistically, and this is actually my line of research, black youth are seen as 4 to 5 years older. We're seen as scary. We're seen as intimidating. So that's why you see situations like Tamir Rice. You see police reacting quickly with lethal force.
He had a gun. Looked like it was real, though, you know.
He was, but there was no one there. Let's say he had a real gun. Why couldn't the police say stop? He was killed in less than 15 seconds, a 12-year-old boy
he was pointing the gun
with a
at
BB
people.
gun. No, he was not.
When I had a BB gun when I was that age, and it looked real too. And you know, my parents told me, do not go outside with that. And I'm in the all-black area. Do not go outside with that and point it at people because it looked real. And why do you think they did that?
Hopefully because they recognize that as a black boy, you're going to be targeted.
We could do a whole
They didn't say much. Nobody said much in that. Now, she definitely backed up her
everything
stuff,
she said. Yo, I can't really argue with what Shorty's saying. Like, yo, yeah, statistically, yes, we are killed more. And then dude said, matter of fact, all right, I remember what she said. So dude was like, yo, what does that mean? Yo, yeah, we're over police, which is a direct reflection of the amount of encounters we'll have with police, the higher chance of being arrested. Like, you have... I think... What's crazy is, like, I don't know if this is, I'm pretty sure this happened in your hood too as well. Like, You would even have cops, they'll round people up just so that they can get you on, just have your fingerprints, like, logged in. You get what I'm saying? Like, it had a bunch of times, like, I just got locked up, like, literally for no reason. I was walking down the block, yo, we heard this, we bringing you in. Like, I done got hemmed up because, like, yo, it was a murder with a dude that had a green jacket on and I had a blue jacket on. Niggas pulled me in. I was in my,
So I definitely, and I think, like, the reason they in our neighborhoods is different, too. Like, they're in our neighborhoods to do shit like what you just said. They're in white people's neighborhood to literally make sure that they homies good or somebody they know is okay.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing. It's a difference between protecting the neighborhood and looking for. You know, you dare to you in a black people neighborhood to arrest people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the goal is different. And they used to be camping out. So I used to, you know what I'm saying? Like, so not only is it more in our neighborhoods, but the goal is different in our neighborhood. They're not. Building relationships with the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got relationships in the white communities or in better communities. But
yo, bro, like that's a lot of times. That's why I don't really want to go back to the hood. Like, as far as like when I'm on, like, if I have time off, whatever, I'd rather have people like come to me or like
come to hell yeah.
Because one, there's nothing to do in the hood. One,
nothing.
Two, like, every time I go in, I'm scared I'm gonna just get locked up like randomly for like no reason. Like, I
get caught up in some bullshit.
Yo, bro, I had last time I went, that's a couple years ago. I think I told you, like, I went on leave. Boom, I'm at my mom's crib and I saw a few homies or whatever. Well, one of my homies, and I'm like, yo, let's go. I'm about to go run around the park real quick. You trying to roll through? It was like maybe like 11 o'clock at night or whatever. So dude was like, yo, nah, I'm gonna just he wasn't trying to work out. He was like, yo, I'm gonna just wait right here for you, whatever, and when you're done, go shower and shit, and then we'll link up and just cool it or whatever. Nigga, I ran around the park. It was a couple miles. By the time I got back, dudes were telling me, yo, he just got locked up. Like, police came and grabbed him. I'm like, yo, if I was just chilling with dude, I'd have got grabbed up too. And like, you literally, you know this for a fact. You don't have to be doing anything to get locked up. Like, it's not a true statement to say, like, yo, if he got locked up, he was doing something. He had to be doing something. You get what I'm saying? Because
it could be some type of, it could be things going on.
Yeah, you could just get grabbed up for no reason. A cop could be having a bad day and they stop and ask you a question. They don't like how you answer them. You get what I'm saying? Like, or you just don't want to respond. Like, anything. Like, they could be having a bad day, just hem you up for no reason. You get what I'm saying? It don't hurt them to just drop you off in bookings. You get what I'm saying? Pick you up, drop you off. They go do what they got to do. You get what I'm saying? Or then the quotas is a whole other story too. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, exactly.
Podcast on that one right there. I mean, I wanted to go in.
Barack Obama did good things for Black Americans.
Obama didn't do much for Black Americans or for Americans in general. But what he did do was one very important thing that I got to give him credit for, and that was to say that you can be black and be the president of the United States. This whole excuse of, well, I can't do anything because I'm black.
Yeah, this nigga think he was clever by saying that dumb shit. That nigga should have just stood back where he was. And
let's see. I want to see what the other people gonna say in reply to that.
Slavery, I'm not trying to hear it no more.
The thing is,
first black president.
Like, I can't identify what he did for black people. Like, it's no specific thing that I can identify. Be like, Obama did this for black people. I don't think that's out there. But I also don't. I'm not a political person, so I really don't even care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't looked into it, like, if he did anything at the same time.
Yeah, I'm on the same like wavelength as you are. Like, I'm not like too patched into all of that stuff to say like, yo, this is what he did, this is what he did. But yeah, let's say how they respond to it, and then
the black wife, the black kids, all that good stuff for 2 terms. Not once. It wasn't a fluke. 2 terms.
Obama has done more damage to the African American race than any of the other presidents.
I can say that without even knowing anything, son. That's a false statement, son.
I mean, for her to boldly say that, like, it's definite, it can't be correct. It's just impossible.
With a Trump hat on, but that's a whole other story, son.
I mean, I think everybody can probably mutually agree that Reagan
Son.
Reagan said it.
Nigga, Reaganomics. Like come on, son. That's a whole other story too. Reaganomics, like, come on, son. And then we're not even gonna talk about you saying any other president. So we're gonna go back. We can like all of the presidents, like when slavery was an actual thing, and then when North and South were fighting, and then when people like come on, son. We don't want to go down that list, but
He came into the presidency lying. He lied to our faces to get elected. Then once in...
She a person that sounds smart, possibly looks smart.
Forgot about the blacks, first of all.
But she ain't saying shit.
Obama didn't do anything but an abomination.
Yeah, she's coming off as shit. She low-key coming off as a gypsy to me, son. I think this bitch just dressed like that. She's a mole. That's what I think she is.
Yeah, like she got a lot to say. She sound really intelligent by enunciating her words.
Mm-hmm.
She's a dumbass.
To this whole nation.
Yo,
Pause it, bro. Yeah, she not saying shit. And he know that. He like, yo, this lady dumb.
Yeah.
Not even dumb. She's just not saying, like, she hasn't said anything.
For you to have such a strong stance with no facts is wild ignorant, bro. Like, I will respect your opinion. I may not agree with it, but I respect it if you had some type of, like, backbone. Like, you're just saying, yo, this nigga was the worst president of all. He lied to our
opinion. Like, in my opinion.
That's retarded. Like,
he looking like, yo, like, she ain't said shit. That wasn't...
Especially in this forum where we're having, like, an intellectual conversation about...
We supposed to be.
What's going on. Like, you just got, like, your Uncle Tom to fucking just... Your drunk uncle to just come in and talk shit, basically.
Like, what are you saying?
You know, he did a lot of damage. And the main thing that I remember from his term was when he had Black Lives Matter in the White House while Ferguson was happening, while it was happening. Hey, you guys are doing a great job out there.
Whoa.
You guys are doing fantastic. Didn't say, hey, tone down the rhetoric a little bit maybe because you got some problems. Nope, you guys are doing a great job. Keep on going.
So Obama was a representation of something important, but also I think the whole thing is a big puppet show. And, you know, I wasn't really sure.
Amen, brother.
I'm never really sure what's going on behind the scenes, so we don't know what kind of deals are being made.
That's the smartest thing that you can say is that you don't know in that situation. Like, you don't, because you don't know.
That benefited from some policies that Obama put in place. And I also believe that there were people that did not benefit. And so I think that there are obviously good things about the Obama presidency, and there's things that I disagree with the Obama presidency.
Like any presidency.
Educate me?
Yes.
Did you go to college?
Yes.
Where'd you go?
Southern University in Pepperdine.
What did you study?
Political science, law enforcement, social studies. Social studies.
She's lying, bro.
Masters.
That don't mean shit.
The black community should
that don't mean shit.
LGBTQ plus rights.
I am not only a philosophical conservative, but I'm also a religious conservative. And I believe that God made everyone in his image. And I also believe that we as Christians aren't people to judge. And so who are we, or who is anyone, to deny someone their rights as a person based off of what their sexual orientation is, or how they identify, or the lifestyle that they choose to live?
You know, I'm a part of the LGBT community. I'm transgender, so I was born female, now I present male.
Yo!
Yeah, it was an interesting road, even getting my family to understand, you know, who
Plot twist.
I was at times.
What the fuck?
I think it was like they didn't want me, for lack of better terms, to have another cross to bear, which was what they felt like it was another burden or condition that would make me less than. But really, intrinsically, like, we're all worthy.
So do you think the black community should accept LGBTQ rights?
What are the rights?
All right, let's listen a little bit further.
Okay. Human rights is one thing. Sexual rights is a whole nother thing. The majority of the black community are religious. When it goes against their beliefs,
I don't like the way her arguments are all the human majority.
Race. People
like
it don't sound intelligent. It don't sound like she's coming from a place of information. It sounds like she's just been sitting in the crib just watching the news, and then she came up with all of these opinions, and then she's like, I want to go. I got something to say about this without doing any research, especially for someone that says she has a master's. Come on.
Full of shit, bro. Her arguments are ass.
Too much. And the LGBTXYZ, whatever, they're gluttoned.
All right. Now, my viewpoint on LGBT, what are we talking about exactly? I want to be very specific with this particular thing because when I hear that, I'm thinking about Dwayne Wade's son. He's 12 years old. Do you think a 12-year-old boy should be able to call himself transgender? Is that what we're going to do? Do we think that we should have 4- and 5-year-old children on puberty blockers, hormone blockers, because they think at that age they're transgender? You can't even get a tattoo under the age of 18. You can't smoke cigarettes. You can't drink beer. If somebody wants to be gay, trans, whatever, as an adult, that's fine. My uncle, my favorite uncle, died of AIDS, was gay. That was my dog, 100%.
That was a shameless plug to say the nigga died of AIDS. He was gay. That's fucked up. He probably didn't even notice he doing that shit, but I...
If you gay, that's your business. I don't care. That's you. That's not me. That's you.
That's 100 though.
Talking about LGBT rights, what do we mean?
I mean, I think it's the right to exist.
Bro, how did this lady get there?
Daughter.
Gee, this woman is intelligent.
Who she is, and
12.
And she doesn't.
Right, and there's definitely research that says that, you know, anybody under 25 years old, that your brain is not fully formed.
Thing is, I knew when I was small, right? As soon as I could talk, I was pretty much telling my parents, like, these were the things that I was feeling and what I knew about myself. You know, when you start to self-actualize, you start that at that age. You start at the early ages. So if you look at, like, psychosomatics of children, they start to voice and self-actualize in toddler stages. We're just saying, opening it up. If they're voicing themselves, okay, you're voicing yourself, and as a parent, I just give you a platform to flourish and bloom as you do. And then when you're an adult, if that's the decision the parent wants to make, you can do what you want, sure. That's the decision my parents said.
Did you kind of say what he said?
So you kind of like on the same page with me. Like
this is what my parents did. You do what you want when you're out of the house. But the thing is, if I had if my parents had the resources and the education that they do now, they would have probably allowed me to, they would have offered me a decision that would have helped me, you know, live my life.
But you can't say that because it didn't happen.
It didn't, but it can now. Because we have those resources now. We have those resources now.
You think
there would have been yeah. If they had the resources that they have now, definitely. All you got to do is listen. You're just listening.
So, not to get too deep into this right here, but I think I think
you did there.
I don't think that we should be allowing 3- and 4-year-olds to decide shit like this.
Completely out of line. You have no decision making skills as a 3-year-old, as anything single digits. Completely out of line.
If you a 3-year-old boy, right, and you want to play with dolls, play with dolls. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you want to play with these toys, I'm not gonna automatically say, "Oh my God, he want to be a female. We need to put him on hormone blockers. He's saying he want to be a female." Yo, this one dude, damn, I keep forgetting where I be getting this information. I gotta start writing shit down, like where I get it from. But there was one scenario where this kid, I think he was like 6 years old. He was starting to talk about like, yo, he wants to be a girl. He wants to be a girl, right? So the kid went to therapy. And they found out that the reason the kid was saying he wanted to be a girl was because the parents just had a girl, and she was like 2 or 3 or whatever. And then he felt that the daughter was getting more love than he was, so he thought that maybe if he was a girl, he would get as much love as he would as his little sister. You get what I'm saying? So now imagine if the parents went along, oh, he wants to be a girl, let's give him a sex change, let's give him, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know the crazy damage, the crazy damage that you would do. You get what I'm saying? And then also, my next point is that why is it that, because these are all gender roles, right? Gender roles that are created by society, right? They're saying like, yo, if you like this, you associate as a female, or associate as if you like these certain things, you associate as a male, right? Because clearly the decision that they're making is not on biology. Biology is a fact, right? That a man is a man, a woman is a woman, right? Based on your XY chromosomes, right? So we're obviously not making these decisions off of biology. We're just making this definition off of gender roles in society, right?
Yeah.
Now, why is it that if you're a dude, and let's say you're showing signs of wanting to be a female, whatever, why are you now putting that kid in another gender role and like boxing him into a whole other gender role? Now he has to fit these norms. You get what I'm saying? If it's gender fluid, then why are you changing him into something else, introducing all these hormones and things into him to put him into a different box?
I actually never heard that point before, and that's exactly what they're fucking doing. Oh, I'm not this, so I have to be this, but genders don't exist. But you're literally saying that you're not a man, you're a woman. You can still be a man and feel however the fuck you feel.
Yeah, so like if you're a man,
because that's what you are. You're literally a man. So why do you have to change to a girl? Why do you associate? Because that's weird.
Another recent argument I heard. Tell me how you feel about this. So this dude was like, "Yo, it's only in this society, right? In a first world society where you're saying it's okay for self-mutilation, body mutilation, right? So if I were to come to you and go to a doctor and say like, yo, I don't feel like this arm should be on my body, I want you to cut it off, we will look at you like you crazy, right? Like, yo, it's a perfectly good working part of your body. You get what I'm saying? So now to go to the doctor and say, yo, I have this dick, you get what I'm saying, working, functioning properly, but I feel like it shouldn't be there, I want you to cut it off. To mutilate yourself and cut off working parts of your body, we are not treating it as an illness. We're treating it as something that should be accepted. How do you feel about that argument? Because if you go to a doctor and say, yo, this leg, like, I feel like this shit shouldn't be on my body, you might just, you know what I'm saying, I need you to take this off and put a prosthetic one in there because I feel like I need to be a cyborg or some shit like that. Yo, remember the video with dude that thought he was a cyborg?
You never seen that.
We're gonna do another one right after this real quick. But yeah, actually, I'm gonna write it down. We can do it next time. But yeah, so how do you feel about that argument? Like people just like mutilating perfectly working parts of their body.
I feel like once you're an adult, yeah, do what you please. I think you definitely need to be a child shouldn't do that because you can go through a lot of different stuff, and you may feel a different way.
So afterwards. you think even as an adult that's okay to like just cut off perfectly working parts of your body?
I think adults should be able to do whatever the fuck they want.
But
if I'm able to make money off doing something that you want, I feel like that adult should be able to do it. Now, does that come with some restrictions? Possibly. But if we're living in a truly free world, a person, a fully functional, capable adult, excluding mental health, excluding anything that could impair your decision making, to be able to make a decision, permanent or not.
All right.
And 18 is not necessarily an adult. They say your brain is formed by the time you're 25. If a 25-year-old wants to get rid of his penis, 25-year-old wants to get rid of her boobs, 25-year-old wants to color the fucking eyes green, the fucking white parts of their eyes. If a 25-year-old wants to get a tattoo, if a 25-year-old wants to do anything that they fucking want to do, and they got the money to afford it, and it's not hurting nobody else, if it's a decision that only affects you, that person should have the right to fucking do it.
All right. Let's see what else they got to say.
I have felt excluded from the black community.
probably the first aspect of being excluded from the black community is by the way I talk. So I was adopted to a Caucasian family. I was raised around in a completely different culture than what most African American people are raised in or around. Where the black community is saying, look, you don't believe like us, you don't think like us, you don't vote like us.
I think black people do have the tend to exclude others very quickly. And as kids, it usually comes out in like the clothes that you wear. It's super superficial. I think we are super superficial. My homeboys was some of the darkest dudes that I ever known. I ain't want that black, but these were three. It was the older brother that was in my grade. He had two twin brothers that was just as dark as him. The girls in our class when he first came in, no homo, he was a decent looking dude. But the girls in our class, they was flaming him for being black, super dark. Like they was flaming him, and he thought he was like, "Boy, I look decent." Like you know what I'm saying? Like y'all flaming me? Like he's tweaking. Like what the fuck y'all tweaking on me for? And they was flaming him because he was dark. Weird as hell, bro. We was playing Def Jam Vendetta at his house, or Def Jam Fight for New York at his crib, and my dude ended up being dark, and all they dudes was light skinned white dudes, creative players, and they was laughing at my dude. Yo, dude black as hell. Yo, dude black as hell. Ain't that sick, bro?
Yeah.
And I'm like, y'all black as hell. Y'all blacker than him. This nigga my colors. What the fuck y'all? But it's crazy because I seen kind of like the inside view to like the girls was flaming him because he was dark. So now y'all making white characters because I guess y'all think that better. Yeah. And that was just weird because I mean, like, you know, like we super, especially as kids, super judgmental. Like just we super superficial. Like
for sure. Or look at this nigga about you doing homework, nigga? You about to go home and do homework, nigga? Or you going to after
shit like that?
You about to look at this nigga bringing his books to school. Like niggas wasn't carrying their books in their bag. Like niggas that have like a notebook like folded, like the spiral joint folded in your back pocket, or like a sheet of paper. And you know what I'm saying?
Bro,
like,
our culture is retarded, bro.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You guys just stupid ass shit, bro. And that's when, you know what I'm saying, and the lack of fathers, everybody, all the OGs, anybody who is intelligent was locked up, you know what I'm saying? And especially if you ain't got nobody in your immediate family, you looking up to other young niggas. And as a young person, of course, you gonna think that shit cool or this shit stupid that's really smart. Like my grandma used to tell me, like, nerds is cool. Nerds is cool. I wish somebody else would have kind of explained more of that at that point. Like, motherfuckers, like, you know what I'm saying? We got a pair of, I'm old, so I don't have to explain shit. Explanation is everything. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck are nerds cool? Because when they get older, they gonna be the people that's running shit.
Yeah, but then you factor in, once again, look at the people that are around you. When they're older, they're running shit, but then look at the older people around you. What are they doing exactly? You know what I'm saying? None of the shit they learn in school, none of that helped them. You know what I'm saying? There's no examples in their lives. You know what I'm saying? Or yeah, even if you have like successful people, you don't see like. You don't like. I started out being a teacher, right? I was a teacher because the very few successful people that I had in my life, far as like profession, they were teachers. So I seen another black person. I see somebody like me being a teacher. So I said to myself, like,
you gotta have successful people in your reality. Yep, you gotta have that. That's fact.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we also got to get away from like saying that because you speak proper, you speak in white. That's crazy.
Stupid shit, bro. Stupid.
That's crazy, man. But all right, let's continue this.
As well, you know, with the queerness, transness, you know, when people get to know me and learn that, then they're just like, I can't be doing all that gay shit, blah, blah. Like, you hear a lot of different stuff, you know. Being anything doesn't make you any less black.
Just by being conservative, friends that I had coming up in the black community, people that I known from just being out and around in Virginia, someone would kind of turn their back on you, or you want to support Trump, you hate black folks, all this, that, and the third. Now I feel like some of that's kind of going away because a person like me being a black Trump supporter is less of a novelty at this particular point. Now it's kind of like a normal thing. Yeah. But we're not all the same. We know we're not a monolith. Everybody have their own, we are our own people.
We're a diverse group of people. I mean, and I play hockey. So a lot of people are like, man, black people don't do that, man.
We do
Come
everything.
on, man. Black people don't do that. I'm like, hey, man, black people do everything,
we can't do, man. We do it all.
I agree with that. We definitely can do everything.
I've never been outside of or excluded from my race. I'm cool with everybody in my race, and I'm cool with everybody in other races. I ran for political office. I've been.
Do you believe her? Why did they let her on here?
Council.
Did you win?
I did.
Good.
Yeah, I represented Hyatt Park.
I wanted to say something. Even though I have felt excluded before, black people in my life have been the most welcoming, loving, giving people that I witnessed, you know, regardless of, you know, my background as well. So there's been two ends of the spectrum for sure.
The reason why I came here all the way from Pennsylvania to do this is to show the world that all of us, regardless of our skin color or the way we think politically, we are so diverse. We're so diverse. Just because
Shorty's an outlier. She's too diverse for me.
Yeah, I would exclude her for sure. I wouldn't.
Identify as conservative
kind of stay away
doesn't
from her.
mean I'm agree with you or agree with you. Just because you identify as a liberal doesn't mean you're going to disagree with me on everything. We found ourselves agreeing with a lot today.
Common ground is our
It's called middle ground.
right, middle ground. Yeah. Well.
That's it for today.
Nice meeting you.
I think the dudes and the transgender.
That was a doozy. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, that was. I don't think that lady, the Trump supporter lady, contributed anything to the conversation that was necessary, or that couldn't have. A lot of what she said could have been left out, and it would have been just as good as it was.
Yeah.
I feel like we are diverse. Black people need to stop putting each other in the box. I think rap music is so prevalent that, you know what I'm saying, like we tell our own stories, and if rappers are heard around the world because it's a popular genre, that's the story that's really being told amongst.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? And
without a direct example for us to like combat the image that you're portraying across the world. This is all these people have to identify with.
And it's us saying it. It looks like free will.